Okay, so welcome to our Friday Wrath of the Immortals Mystara campaign. We're up to session 117, or to make it easier to deal with, it is Phase 3, Season 2, Episode 9. So, 9 sessions into being 12th level. Online today we have Gary.
Hi everyone, I'm playing Anton, a Traladaran warlock who nearly stuffed everything up with a Primal Titan last week, but last time we played, thankfully Zal came to the rescue and tried to do better and not stuff up things this time.
Well, hey, I'm sure sending the Primal Titans to wipe out humanity is not going to affect things too greatly.
Yeah. Well, you prevented me becoming an octopod of some sort.
Things are pretty bad, but yeah, it does sound like it might be worse.
Next person we have online today is M.
Hello. I play Zal, your ever-lovable cleric wizard.
Veiled Ranger, thank you.
There it is. We finally have it back this week. Yes, I am. Well, used to be a ranger. That's because I am.
And you know that was, about 100 sessions ago.
Yeah. And for the last 100 sessions or so, give or take.
And you've now graduated to something bigger and better.
Yes, I have become a hero in my own right as a cleric and wizard. I've had to balance my life between Ethengar, who is very, I guess the right word would be racist to magicians. Murder, death to all the magicians. And
Being one of those magicians that they want to murder, death.
Yeah, being one of those magicians.
What, you finally accepted your heritage and become a necromancer?
She always was.
No, but before she was in denial.
I'm still in denial, but that's fine, right?
Well, she hasn't started creating a family yet.
I haven't started creating a family yet. I still struggle to have a good
Yeah,
conversation.
you really should raise a family.
I still have trouble trying to get more than just my name out of my dad. You would think after all these years he would be a little bit more amenable, but
Well, he does still show you the video with the sound of Chauvel and Shofar on the balcony.
Yes, no, he has now become a videotape.
But only that one scene so far.
Projector. Yes, that he likes to play on repeat. He's like one of those like bad movie places that just like have the same thing showing for like 20 years.
It's not your fault that your father's Groot. You do realise there is a way of speaking to him. Probably speaking to dead might actually be a lot easier.
There are some requirements that the body be complete.
I think this has been brought up before, and I think those issues have been raised, and the fact that I couldn't do that.
So it is amusing using the word raised with necromancy.
Yeah. Yes.
Well,
yeah, considering his skull is now encased in a crystal wall, who knows? Anyway.
Well, it can't because it's a magical item. You can't reincarnate a magical item.
Well, destroy it and cast reincarnation, but even then you can't because... Oh, actually, how long has he been dead for?
A while now.
Yeah.
12 years.
How long have we been campaigning for? Like 6 years, 7 years, if not more.
So she has to target a corpse. The skull no longer counts as a corpse.
Okay, if we get a headless corpse and stick his skull on there,
I don't think
it will just be an orb on top of a corpse. Because it counts as a drift globe.
Yeah, and I don't think.
Actually, I do know a way, but I'm playing. I'll be the wrong group, and it needs to be a gnome that does it.
What? Steal the soul?
Something like that, and stick it into an automaton.
Yeah, well, I was about to say I need more like talk with spirits rather than talk with the dead. But anyway.
Okay. So next up, even though he's been waiting patiently for his turn, is Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh.
Unfortunately, these mics aren't as good.
I know, right?
And we sort of
better known as the Angry Paladin.
Yeah, he's about to swap back to the studio. I'm like,
yes, because his other mic didn't quite get much of that. It kept dropping in and out as he was doing it.
We got
no,
pa, and then a little bit of l, and then mostly din.
So he's now
The Paladin.
And he still managed to break that one
We got
too.
more of that one.
Okay, he's now the Drunkard Paladin.
Yeah, that works.
I put on auto.
I like
Yeah,
that.
I believe it's because
I got the charm. Paladin.
We got that all that time.
Yeah.
yeah, it's because you're exceedingly wise input.
yeah.
No, it was because my settings were on auto determine.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you're not supposed to yell into the mic.
Well, I like going to the mic, so screw you, Discord.
That's where you turn the gain down a little bit to make sure it can hear you.
Yelling into
Exactly.
the mic has certain benefits and fun things.
And at the
I was
table,
going to say, is there more to Chauvel's introduction than just that, is there?
No, that's it.
That's
Well,
it.
there is more. So, Chauvel's the fiery, hot-headed paladin, who does everything.
Murder of parents.
Murder of parents, yeah.
Yeah, when in doubt, blame the Paladin.
Yeah, when in doubt, blame the paladin.
I thought you could be more specific than that. When in doubt, blame Chauvel. No, kidding.
Also, morals will be checked out at very close date, I'm assuming.
Yes, the god versus you referring to your
The
gods?
god versus the party.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking forward to that, but am preparing for it.
I thought you might be coming in the Fallen. Or was it the Unsworn or whatever, the Forsaken?
Yeah, what is it when the paladin...
Oathbreaker.
Oathbreaker. There we go. I knew there was a term.
Yeah, see, he doesn't really want to be an Oathbreaker because there's a lot more problems associated with that.
What if your god is
No.
evil and you don't want to follow them anymore?
Doesn't matter. It's the Oathbreak that is quite bad.
Is there anything you can do though?
Hang around with Undead.
There are a lot of things you can do, but that's a major transgression amongst the gods.
I guess the trick would be to find another god that doesn't consider you an oathbreaker, but considers you like they want to protect you from the other bad god.
He can change allegiance, but he has to find someone of equal power.
I see.
He
Or
has
he
four
becomes
other
a warlock.
choices.
So Chauvel's going to be conducting interviews in a session to come soon, and she'll have herself a list of questions that she'll be asking each god.
But the problem is, one of them's already discounted.
Well, I was going to say the first one's going to be: do you plan to commit genocide on a particular race or country? If you
They say yes when you're in. Done.
well, then you could probably stay with the one you've got.
Unless, of course, it's wanting to genocide the party. That's the issue.
Yeah, the main issue is that is it Ixion?
Ixion,
Would kill us all, is that right?
Pretty much so.
Aside from Chauvel.
Including Chauvel.
Oh, including Chauvel. Why Chauvel?
Because Chauvel fits the requirements of the people that need to be cleansed. But it would be using Chauvel to cleanse, and then Chauvel would be cleansed afterwards.
Yeah.
And we'll get a reward of going to the God's Heaven as part of that.
Oh, I guess if you're...
Were you trying to persuade Ixion to take the Master out?
I guess if you want to go to Ixion's Paradise, then that's not a bad outcome. Do you want to go to Ixion's Paradise, Shabbat?
That's actually the worst
Morals will be checked
out
out
of all
all
of
the
them.
day.
So you haven't decided
It's
yet.
not the worst guy out of all of them.
Listen, at the moment, the coin flip challenges are currently best 51 out of 100 at the moment.
So Ixion is a god of fire, god of magic, god of energy.
Oh no, I'm getting confused with the one that's total evil.
The corrupt one.
At Santiago is known as the Corruptor. He does that. Then you have Thanatos, who is known as the Grim Reaper. And you have Hel, who is the Norse goddess of reincarnation of those who ruin society.
Yeah, and wants to bring on Ragnarok.
I was going to say, if Yodru says the anything about any of those gods,
I normally try to avoid mentioning.
I was going to say Calcrix will do a sidebar and quickly hand you a cookie. Because the cookies protect you from Exania.
Yes and no.
They protect you from being into forced service for Exania. You could go into voluntary service, but you can't be forced into service.
No.
I'm more worried about why the thing up the lady below is going to do.
That's the C one?
Yeah.
Yep.
One of the sea ones, but not necessarily the time one.
Okay, so not the temporal
It's not Poseidon.
water god, but one of the water gods. Okay, cool. There's too many gods.
Yeah.
It's
Like I said,
Did we finish Cheval's introduction, or
We
did we
did.
just interrupt all over it so that you couldn't finish?
We really interrupted it. It's fine.
I was just checking to see if there was more that she wanted to say.
Nah.
Which brings us to the table and Ross.
Yes, I play the lovable swashbuckling halfling sorcerer warlock follower of the lady below. And
Are you sure it's follower? I thought it was minion.
well, follower, minion, same diff. We're all little ants. And God to be crazy.
What day is
Calcrix
it?
hands you a banana.
Banana.
Yeah.
I don't think you've received your promotion yet.
No, I don't.
It's coming by a carrier snail. It'll be to you in the next, I don't know, 3 years.
No, I don't really want to get promoted as such, because then I'll be basically waterbound. Which actually wouldn't be a bad thing. Speaking of, since most of the time we've been on land.
I think we've been on a boat like once.
No,
and then we got checked
I've only
on
been
the
able
boat.
to pilot a boat once, but you've been on more boats than I have at the time.
I was going to say, I think unfortunately Yodri has been
I've-
somewhere else when
I've
we've
been on more
boats.
airships than boats at the moment, which is the reason
poor
why I
Yodri.
got cursed.
Yeah, I feel quite sorry for Yodri. He's
Mind you, I might take up air piracy again, but I can't because I believe the named ships are all basically been destroyed to the.
The big majority of them were, yes.
Mm.
And then next up we have is Ariadna.
Hello, my name is Calcrix. I'm also known as the White Dragon with the Jazz Wings. Not that the person operating me can do jazz wings very well. I don't have any black scales or blue scales. I am now completely graffitied with all sorts of tales from our adventures.
Okay, so who pimped out the dragon?
The Elk clan on the Isle of Dread. I spent the night with them, and during the night, all the children of the Elk clan got out their carving tools, and now my scales are covered with the adventures that I've had. That I've told the Elk clan about the night before when I drank too much coffee and got overstimulated and answered all their questions.
Okay, how the hell did you sit still in?
There were kids involved.
There were kids involved. And basically, when it comes to children, Calcrix doesn't say no. She should, but she doesn't. Because they're children, and who would say no to children?
Calcrix is a literal child herself, so you know.
She is only 12, so
Yeah, you're still a baby.
yeah.
But she is a highly advanced baby. While she's highly advanced, highly developed, she doesn't have real life experience compared to those who have done it through time.
Yeah, well, she would like to have.
Actually, don't they great raid dragons by the amount of horde they've got?
They can, but most of the time it is by how many years they have survived.
That too.
And a dragon that advances faster than that is considered a prodigy amongst them.
To be honest, I'd like to be a prodigy, but I don't think I am.
No, you are.
Oh, I am?
You're literally a prodigy amongst the dragons.
I've got it mixed up. She doesn't feel very advanced.
So you're a punk dragon.
So, from a comparison of the dragons, you are far more powerful, far more intelligent, far more magically, far bigger than you should be at your age, and you've still got the life experience of someone your age.
I would have to say I was very surprised when we were facing off the herd of underwater dinosaurs that were trying to eat us on the Tuesday session.
Was it Paladisaurs or the other?
Do you remember what kind of dinosaurs we faced under the water?
Starts with C.
All I know I was that they're because of the primals being scared, waking up, and because Cheval's patron primal titan of fire chucked a tantrum and exploded all the volcanoes on the Isle of Dread. All the food and water has become toxified with iron and ash, and so all of the vegisaurs are unhappy because all their veggie is being ruined, and so they were gunning for us, and Calcrix didn't want to kill them all, and after the warlock blasted, I think at least one, and was about to work his way through about another 10, she threw lightning at the water, and it was enough to make them all run away, and she was just a little bit surprised by how powerful the lightning strike was. But that goes to the dice, not really to Calcrix. She was just very lucky to roll a natural 20. So yeah, it went well.
You're just channeling your inner dragon.
Cretosauruses is what we were facing.
That was it.
Yeah.
Okay, and who wants to do the recap of last session?
I listened to it, but as I said before, I've got no memory, even though I listened to it. I know if I've got the right session. Was it session 115?
116.
Ah, okay. I don't have any notes for that, unfortunately. So I'm hoping the GM will be able to fill us in.
Okay. So, my notes are fairly simple at this stage because I haven't written it up yet. Is that you spoke to the Titan Itali, Primal Storm, you spoke to the Titan Gulta, Primal Hunger, and spoke to the Titan Zaltapa, Primal Dawn, and convinced all three of them to return to the Isle of Dread.
That's right. Cheval managed to convince. That was the last one we finished off with.
We did 3 out of 6.
3 out of 6 isn't too bad. I'm sure the world will survive with that.
So we had Storm, and then who was in between Storm and Sun?
You had Storm, Hunger, and Dawn.
Hunger, and we had Gluttony and Dawn.
Well, you have Tide, Death, and Calamity.
Yeah, so we've got
Mind
Tide.
you, Death knows what's going on.
Death knows what's going on?
Yeah, because he's constantly watching me.
Not the primal Titan death, but actual death.
There are two different deaths. Which death would you like?
Neither.
For people's
Death was death.
So would you like the Grim Reaper to be watching you
Russian
instead?
roulette of death.
No, I don't want basically any death deity or Titan watching you all the time. I feel like I'm now a spectator because I've got my lady may or may not be watching because I'm not just insignificant compared to all her other. Oh, she's probably more interested in what's going on with my rest of my family.
Quite possibly. May even be waylaying them as we speak.
I'm not sure if people want to make note, but it's very worthwhile information that Calcrix learned in the Tuesday session that Calamity represents the 6th element. So there's more than 5 elements. So I've marked it here that everything she once knew, as in it being 5 elements and a balance of 5 elements, now has to be sorted to include the fact that to account for that there's a 6th element.
But the 6th element is only important when you deal with the gods.
Yes.
It is the god element.
Yeah. So, but
Then you've got the world element that Master is currently right next to.
The world tree.
Not the world tree, the other thing, the island that decided that, no, I'm not going to put surface at the moment.
Well, that one was the earth element. So already one of the elements.
I just thought that in the future it might come into play that we have to deal with this 6th element and the gods, because the gods are currently having a war. We are currently their pawns. It is worthwhile knowing that this bit of knowledge, some sessions in the future might be important.
Because that's what Calamity does.
Sorry, what was that about Calamity?
Well, Calamity will be in the middle because that basically you've got the two. You got one side of gods and the other side of gods, and they're both fighting. Yeah, Calamity's going.
Well, it's not one side of gods and another side of gods. It is the same side of gods fighting.
Yeah. Yep.
Isn't it the good guys are now acting all crazy and being evil?
Even worse than that, you have the gods of magic fighting each other.
Yeah.
And when you think of what can gods bring to the battlefield, they're all gods of magic.
Okay, so we're going back to the mountains where we've got the little green goblin things, and we're going to fix their ship and leave the world.
Yeah, no, I was thinking exactly the same thing in the Tuesday session.
Well, due to the fact that we know what happened last time when something like this happened.
Last time?
Well, they've never had the gods fight like this.
No. Didn't some 2 races decide to leave their planet because it blew up because of infighting?
Oh no, that wasn't a planet. They blew up their plane.
That's even worse.
They basically destroyed their plane of existence.
Okay, so basically it's the same thing that's going to happen again.
If they did it here, the getting on a plane and leaving the planet won't make a difference.
No, it means that we have to go to another plane.
Yes, but if this plane fractures, then all the other planes will fracture. This is the keystone
like
frame.
the anchor plane.
It is the anchor plane.
Great.
Just for personal knowledge, if Calamity is my great-grandmother or father, I'm not sure what side she goes to, and they represent the 6th element. Does that come into play for Calcrix?
It does.
Okay.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you're now the avatar of Calamity.
I'm trying not to be the avatar of Bahamut or Takesis.
Both of them are very good calamities in their own right.
Yeah. Well, she has always wanted to meet her parents.
Well,
she doesn't want to pay that cost.
You may end up growing 3 heads.
No, she doesn't want 3 heads. She thinks she looks perfectly good the way she is
Could be 5 heads instead.
No, I was thinking of the meme as well.
Well,
The meme?
Oh, you got the 3-headed dragon. 2 are serious and 1 is stupid.
in this one, the great one is the 3-headed dragon god.
Yes. Yeah.
Then we just need Godzilla
And the
to
great
front up.
one is technically a sibling.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, her family life is complex.
Yes, I do like doing interesting family
And
trees.
not necessarily in a good way.
So we need Mothra and Godzilla to front up.
Oh, she likes Mothra.
And considering they also found out that the cat folk hid the weapons that were used to kill the previous dragon gods on the Isle of Dread. And they're currently hunting for them.
What, you mean they've lost them?
Well, they were hidden away so no one could use them, including them. And it was hidden with a hard-to-access method, so it wasn't just on whim. It had to be a large expedition doing it with intent.
Okay, so we've got a spaceship that's about to go nuclear, which is going to destroy the planet. Now we've got weapons of mass destruction by catfolk that's now gone missing.
It hasn't gone missing. They know exactly where it is. They just can't access it.
Oh, I thought you actually went missing this.
It was hidden away on up from being able to be accessed. They know exactly where it is. They just can't get to it. Magic will not get to it.
That's why they need
But
technology.
aren't they technology?
They are technology, yes, and technology is also hiding it.
Must be self-aware. That'll be even worse. Say
So,
the Terminator thing.
well, if you watch one of the Wednesday sessions, it does show that is described to the group. And so this session, you are up to the 18th day of the 4th month of the year 1011, which is 12 years since the story began, and Calcrix was born.
Sorry, say that again.
It is the year 1011, which is 12 years since the story began, and the year that Calcrix was born.
Oh, okay, because Calcrix was born in
The year 1000.
1000, yeah. But is it her birthday?
She would be technically 11 years old, and would already have passed that, because you were born at near the start of the year.
Oh, okay.
You're hatching day.
Oh, okay. So why mention it now?
Because there's always interesting facts to drop at various points.
Okay. Well, yeah, okay.
Okay, and last session there was help from Drazzle to activate a ritual that would allow you to contact 3 of the Titans.
That's right. We were in the Knights River Inn, and we were conducting the ritual with the circle, and Anton and Calcrix were helping with grinding up crystals and setting it up.
Okay, so you're up to the next day, which is the 18th, and you have more crystals ready to go. And having had 2 days helping Drazzle, you are able to help him set up the task again. You're thinking that it's roughly costing about $5,000 per casting to just do the ritual.
Is Retro paying for this?
Drazzle has been paying for this.
Drazzle has been paying for this. Wow.
He's been saving up over a few hundred sessions.
Drazzle can time travel. Pretty sure he's got his ways of making money that that the rest of the party do not have access to.
Well, he never seems to spend money most of the time.
No.
Wish spells more expensive.
Wish spells also problematic because you're asking a devil
Oh,
or
no,
a demon.
I'm just on the components.
It can be, yes, but again, the act of doing so is quite dangerous.
Yeah, of course.
You never really want to get a wish.
I thought I've already seen effects of which I would class as wish spells.
Because every wish spell has 25 words to do it in. That's the limit the gods have put on wish spells. It means that no matter how you wish it, there's going to be a wiggle room in
Yeah, they like their wiggle.
there. Okay, so which of the Primal Titans do you wish to contact next? You have Tide, Death, and
I was
Calamity.
going to say, we have a Yodri here. We should go for Tide. Well, we've got him.
Okay, so after an hour is set up, Yodri finds himself sitting in the center of the circle with Galgrix.
Great.
Oh, no, it's not. No, center of the circle with Zal.
Zal.
Yeah.
So,
So guess what, Zal? You're doing the speaking because I do not want to.
No, you can at least
doesn't work that
try.
way.
You can try. I will step in if you fuck off.
Yep.
You've had more experience.
No, it doesn't work that way
You-
because the...
Because you represent the
Yeah, I know.
Alamaster of Water,
Yeah.
which is one of the
Okay.
parents.
Before we get started, I will sort of coach Jodri because I know he was there, but meta NPC bullshit.
It's also the fact that it's Yodri, so you have to remind him sometimes. Just because it's
Yeah.
Yodri.
So I remind
great thing
Jodri
about
that we
persuasion
are
is-
caring parents and we are trying to remind them of home.
Oh, that's right. We
Yeah.
have to treat them like kids, don't we?
We want them to go back to the Isle of Dread and be happy with their siblings, and remind them of things of home. So if there's a big lake in the Isle of Dread, talk about that.
So Calbrix will fill Yodri in and say what I think it was it Anton who dealt with hunger? What Anton did was remind Hunger of all the yummy foods from home. So Hunger decided to go home because Hunger missed the foods from home. And Air, I can't remember what Zal did for Air. What did you do to her?
I basically gave Air a big hug and was
Yeah.
they're there, go home,
That's right.
have the rest of your cry at home.
Yeah.
We believe in you.
Yeah. And was that
and that was Zal's go.
I was gonna say, was it similar for Cheval? Did it end up being a hug?
Yeah, it was a hug for Cheval.
Not marshmallows.
Nope.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm surprised that there wasn't a really deadpan no.
No.
Alright, so we're starting with Tide.
Okay, so you go through this ritual, which is long and drawn out. And eventually you find yourself connecting with a being that just seems to want to destroy the world.
Kind of reasonable when you think about it.
Drown everything. And in such a way that it has taken the tide away from everywhere else. It's the only place where the tide exists. It's always high tide where it is. And on the other side of the world is a super low tide.
It's a super what?
Low tide.
Low tide.
Just realised we're going to cause more destruction when we ask Tide to go back. By the way.
How do you warn the world that there's a tsunami coming their way?
And the fact that tsunami can turn and go in a different direction and attack something that wasn't ready for it.
So Tide is being selfish.
Well, when you think about it, they've just been abused by someone, the Master, siphoning off all their energy and power. I'd be pretty angry if someone was doing that.
And you don't believe they've ever flexed their muscles before?
It's a bit like stealing a baby's lolly.
So imagine putting a baby in a room and then waking it up in their mid-20s.
Yep. So now we're going to work out a way of how do we placate this.
I think they just need validation and comfort.
And you do get an overwhelming need to drown things.
Okay. He needs a de-stress room. A break room, literally.
He carries it wherever he goes.
Yeah.
How would a halfling deal with that?
Gets drunk. Because I'm drowning my sorrows.
Well, you can get a flask that will turn everything you put into it into alcohol.
Yeah, I think I've got that. I know I've got a water one. No, I've got the one that brings makes beer and that.
The alchemist jug.
Not
Quite the same.
you. Hey, maybe we can get Tide drunk.
Please don't.
So we
Please
drown.
don't
So
come with
Please
that
don't.
drink.
so we're drowning our sorrows. There you go. It works for me.
Please don't get the Primal Titan drunk.
We'll be interested to see what it does on a drunken rampage.
Yeah, we really don't want that.
Well, unfortunately, my methods are not going to be very helpful as such, from my experiences.
But you do have this entity's interest at this stage, as it's starting to focus just on you.
Perhaps try talking to it like a parrot. Has Yodri had any experience of being a parrot?
Closest thing I've had basically was pilfering, but I normally let pilfering do whatever it wanted to.
And there's a good chance he may be a parent and not know it.
Okay, fair enough.
Hey,
Do
It
we
happens.
know what this Titan's name was called?
This titan is named Nizal, the Primal Tide.
Do you happen to know how to spell that?
Nezahal.
The Nizal.
Nizal. It's quite nice.
Also
well,
known as
if
Primal Tide.
Yodri wants some help.
Well, look, Yodri seems to be, floundering at the moment.
Yeah, I caught the fun. Nobody else did.
In a bit too deep.
No, that one was easy.
Looking like he's about to walk the plank.
no. I'm just trying to see if you've got. Just need to look for Dory and.
Trying to bob for an answer.
I'm going to leave the room in a minute, even though the cat's just settled. And I'm finally in a less painful position. Which just tells you how bad these puns are getting.
Okay. We need a comfy couch.
As you're imagining a comfy couch, he has no comprehension of what you're imagining.
What so
Hello, Nizal.
it is from what Calcreeks told me of the Isle of Dredge, do I remember if there was a lake or something that he would have resided in there?
He most likely resided in one of the trenches that are right next to the Isle of Dread, because he's big enough that he could stretch over more than half the island.
Yeah, but isn't he also the one responsible for the causing all the shipwrecks and that in that area?
No, he's been asleep.
Oh, that's right.
The fact that there is deep water and there is all the Titans came from there, and the Alder Kraken still resides there, as they found out on Tuesday.
I was
let the
going to
Kraken-
pick up our dinner.
Ooh.
So I know I'm leaving at a really bad time, but Josh will help.
I was going to say, please don't be gone long.
No, I'm just, it's like 5 minutes down the road and it's ready, so.
No, it's alright. We don't want some fiery paladin saying something that may cause problems.
Okay, so you also know that while we have names for the Titans, they've never really comprehended the namings there.
Okay.
Well, they have been asleep for longer than language has been around.
There we go. So I was just looking at the picture you sent me of Nezahal.
Mm-hmm.
So Nezahal.
Yeah, so think of it more like Loch Ness Monster
Yeah.
than the other dinosaurs.
So like a Plachiosaurus.
Yeah.
So you got the big round body, the flippers, force
I can see
flippers.
somebody wanting a neck hug.
Definitely the
long-tailed.
meat-eating version, not the plankton or plant version.
Yeah, sharp, curved teeth.
So a single tooth would be wider than most ships.
Okay, so
Gonna try to give it a mental hug. Well, we shall see how good you are at mental hugging it. I will make it a persuasion check.
which happens to be my second best skill.
That's just me sending the picture you sent me of type to.
That's a 26.
Okay, there is a lot of confusion coming back at you.
That's good.
Well, you don't think anyone's really humped it before.
Does it feel good?
Well, it does also have curiosity. It doesn't seem to be angry.
No.
Well, hey, it is a entity in its own right. What else would you like to do with it?
Try to relay that everything is fine. You don't need to be
You don't think it believes it's destroying the world?
No.
It's just,
It's not. Everything is fine. You don't need to keep everything bottled in. You don't need to have everything bottled in and keep everything to yourself.
So you're deciding to take the Primal tied to therapy
Yes.
and trying to stop a 5-year-old tantrum.
Yep.
So
And
how would you go about stopping a 5-year-old's tantrum?
You're probably distracted with something else. Something shiny. I have no idea it was something this big. I don't have a lollipop that big.
And plus, trying to hand it to it might be a bit problematic.
Yep. Did the other... That's one thing. Did the other primals actually, even though if they were asleep, did they actually deal with each other while they were asleep?
No. They basically weren't really conscious of things for that whole time. Which is why their physical bodies developed, but their mental capacity did not.
Mm-hmm.
You had someone trying to teach them, but couldn't guarantee that they actually learnt anything.
Great. We need somebody who's good with kids.
And animals.
Yeah, that'd be Zum. That we could try.
No, I wouldn't say animals because
Zal is an actual cleric of the goddess of the world. So of nature itself.
Yeah.
And the instead of being a queen of the Feywild, she's actually above all the queens of the Feywild. So she is one of the 5 reigning gods of the world.
Good to know. More like going, what you doing? Why are you doing this?
And technically, Terra is also the parent of the Titans as well. So it's the other parent compared to the two, the Allen Masters.
Yeah, I don't think telling it off is going to be a good idea. Just basically, we don't want to go start stamping its feet, literally and metaphorically.
Well, it could literally attack anything because it has no real concept of its strength, its size, or that the people are a thing because they're so small compared to it. So yes, what would you like to do? Anyone else? Anyone is willing to throw in suggestions that can help as well.
So it's accepted the hug, but isn't ready to return home. Perhaps maybe reminding Tide of the comforts of home. One of the things that we know is that Car has had been teaching them while they're asleep. So maybe letting them know that if they go home, if Tide goes home, there's a promise of gaining more knowledge to protect themselves in the future from anything that might harm them. But unless they go home, they can't have that knowledge, and there's more comfort to be found there too, to make them feel better. I don't know. If that's a good idea, that's kind of the best I got.
So what does Yodri do then?
I don't know if Anton/Gary or Chevelle, Josh, also have.
So does Anton or Chevelle have any ideas?
Any ideas in calming a temper tantrum?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. How do you?
Anton didn't have a lot of success trying to do it last time, so I'm not really going to be more volunteer or anything this time. You know, the whole hug approach did seem to work well last time.
Well, we've already had a hug, and the hug was accepted.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It was.
I don't know if more hug will help. Maybe comforting words, and as I said, reminders of home.
I'm not sure which one this one's after again, but even the last time also worked was, at home there'll be the thing you want. So why don't we go home?
Well, I guess there's all the comforts of home. So there's all the food and the yeah, and safety.
There's always
Those
positive
trenches.
reinforcement.
Sorry, what was that, Josh?
Positive reinforcement.
Yeah, positive reinforcement.
Okay.
Say if you stop the temper tantrum, something positive will happen. Basically, if you calm down and relax, we'll take you back to your family and friends.
Go that way. If you calm down, we can take you back where you can be safe, you can relax.
It doesn't feel threatened at the moment. It basically is just angry and lashing out at the world.
This does not help us.
But you're not sure telling it to calm down will help.
Nah.
Okay.
Normally that doesn't work if somebody's already angry and doesn't want to calm down.
What about, as I said, that promise of being able to gain greater knowledge and being closer to their siblings? Maybe try that.
It's your choice, Audrey, what to choose. Yes. You've been given the floor.
Oh, it's negative vibes. Yeah, to change negative vibes to positive. That's
Are you sure punishment won't help?
No. Punishment only works if you're actually probably it seems to be a lot more powerful than something like that. But
currently you are representing one of his parents.
Yeah. But I was actually no, not what I was going to do. Try to convey that the more angrier they get, they'll actually make it worse for themselves. Because then they'll just be in it always.
So you're hoping to teach a 5-year-old consequences.
Well, it's not fun if you're always angry and that.
I understand that. I also understand limited development.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I will give you a persuasion with disadvantage.
Okay. Did you say advantage instead?
No. Because you're on a 20 on one of them.
Yeah.
I was
That
gonna say,
would have been a 31.
group
Well, that's a 23.
group encouragement.
Okay. He doesn't seem to care much for that. But it does seem to be focusing on where you are.
We're in Darrican at the moment, aren't we?
You're in the northern reaches.
Oh, sorry,
and
yeah,
still in the
Norvik.
town of Norvik.
How far inland are we?
You are technically not inland at all. You are on the coast.
In Norvik, if you have a look at the map up there, Westland.
Yeah.
We don't want it coming to where we are. But unfortunately, only Zal can really step in and help you because The rest of us are outside the circle.
Mm-hmm. Do we have Azal back yet?
No, she's collecting food.
She's not back just yet, but she should be back hopefully shortly.
That's okay. I'm sure you can dig yourself into a hole before then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the shovels.
I'm sure you've got the golden shovel with you right now.
Oh, I was gonna say it's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, what's saying? Yes, you're hurting people that care about you, but yeah, I don't think that will work.
What's an example of positive reinforcement, Josh?
As I mentioned, if like the Titan stops the temper tantrum, we can reunite him, or reunite them with happiness and friends and family.
Yeah, unfortunately they don't care about that.
Okay.
Martin just said that they're not interested, I think.
Well, that one wasn't actually tried. I just pointed out that they haven't really had much interaction with each other.
This is the Titan of Water, yeah?
This is the Titan of Water, yes.
Water play. Play in the water with it.
That's a good option. I think playing the... You are a halfling.
I also...
Then you are aspected towards the deep and the piracy.
Yep, so... Well, I've also got some water-sided things as well. Okay, so... Go for some... There's some playing within the water type stuff.
Okay, I will make it a performance roll. No advantage or disadvantage. It's really neutral at this stage.
Yes. One of the worst skills that I've got. Well, at least I do with a bonus. Oh! Okay, that's a 20.
Nice.
Or 20 all up.
Yeah, roll a 17.
Okay, so you seem to be able to encourage it to play.
Yep.
So it thinks splashing things is fun.
Yeah, well, I expected that. Being of tide and waves.
And you think it's quite capable of splashing islands away.
Yeah, I would expect that.
And if it was to reach you, it might actually sink all the islands in the region.
Yeah, drowning's not what I'm more concerned. It'd be more of the physical damage of being hit against things.
Mm-hmm. And you think that even where you are, the city itself would be submerged by the time it reached you.
Yeah.
You're on a ford, which has a fairly decent drop down at that point. Even though it's got parts all the way down the side of the cliff face, it could probably flood that entire part.
Yeah, I was expecting like a scene from 2012. Even though that's physically not possible to, but
the equivalent of Godzilla showing up.
So he doesn't. Oh, they don't have any recollection of any of the other Titans or anything like that.
You don't know because it's very hard to access the memories of the person you're talking to. You could try to.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to find out what they were familiar with.
What do you try to give it as a reference?
Has anyone played with you before?
Well, you don't think anyone has played with it before? This is the first time it's actually played. Or had anything other than attack.
Okay.
Encouragement,
Yep.
positivity.
So now we'll probably have a game of tag. Not swimming around in it.
Okay, so it is quite encouraged by that and now seeks to tag you.
Athletics.
Well, it's more in the point of it seems to have figured out where you are in the world. And is coming to tag you.
Okay.
Perhaps maybe we could try to persuade Tide that.
No, the thing is, I meant, not you. I have to tag you.
Yeah, and that there are good places to hide in the Isle of Dread, maybe.
And the next one we could play is hide and seek.
And there are good places to hide on the Isle of Dread.
Okay, we will see if you can succeed on a persuasion roll that you're the one who's it, not it.
Yeah.
Because at the moment it's considering itself it, and it wins if it swallows you.
That's cheating.
Well,
That's 27.
it doesn't have much in the way of touching.
Yeah.
Okay, so it does seem confused that something is other than it is in charge.
But I'm the one who suggested the game, so that's why.
Yeah, and it's something that has confused it.
Yeah.
It's not quite sure what to do at this point.
Well,
It
well,
needs-
you basically mean it's hide and seek. How do you attack?
So what do you explain to it?
I'm a
You're-
lot smaller than you.
Yes. Trying to explain the principles of tag and hide and seek.
For the Titan?
Yep.
Okay.
Currently, the Titan was thinking it was it, and it wins by swallowing the other person.
Nah.
That's its main version of touch is swallowing things.
Now I just have to try to work out how to explain the premise of hide and seek, and I'm actually I bet, and I'm going to need one to take them.
Fins only, not teeth.
Finn's just going to be just as bad.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a wisdom saving throw.
This is very similarly.
Yes, due to the fact that it's the worst out of all my saving throws. That's a 16.
Okay, so you find yourself reliving your entire life story. You're watching it all flash before your eyes. You think you're teaching Nizal how to be a halfling pirate.
Okay.
Wait, you're teaching me how to be a halfling pirate? What?
No, Nizal, not Zal.
Sorry.
Nezazal.
Nizal.
Okay, that's good things and bad things. Great. We've got now going to have a Titan that's an alcoholic. But
That's not very positive to a child.
But on the positive side, you'll then actually know what's going on and the ramifications, because I actually have gone through the be doing some bad stuff, then being reprimanded and having to go through a whole heap of stuff for it.
So it does seem to focus on the weirdest things.
Well, that was weird.
Well, like flying, crashing, pinching things,
Yeah.
sailing in the wind, the feel of the deck under your feet, all the things that you don't really get a chance to do on a regular basis. Eating and drinking doesn't seem to interest it much.
Okay.
What would Zal like to add to the mix? You're also currently reliving all of Yodri's life.
can I also focus in not so much on the weird stuff, but like the ocean, what it feels like to be kind of free while swimming, thinking of the sort of like the blue waters and stuff like that.
Okay, I will give Zal a persuasion roll to see if Zal can help focus it.
Persuasion. Right. It will be awesome. Persuasion. Does it do I get advantage because I'm kind of was trying to like knowledge that I had?
I'll give you advantage.
Oh, I needed it. My favorite die is rolled a 5. Persuasion. 18.
18. Okay, so you have the feeling that it is starting to comprehend things a little bit better. But then I'm not sure if having a mile-long dinosaur actually understand how the world works. It is going to be as safe as one raging against the world. Because it now has more of an understanding of what the Master's done.
Yeah, but we don't want it focusing on trying to get revenge on the Master yet.
Also, the Master is far enough inland it can't be reached.
Sorry, what was that about the lands of the Master?
The Master is currently far enough inland that he can't be reached by this creature.
Okay.
There is a major body of water there,
Which
but it's
would
not
be
connected to the sea, unfortunately.
Thwarting
Actually, no, it is, isn't it?
tide from
It's
getting
not.
to
I
him.
thought there were some streams that go.
There are streams, but not enough for this creature to navigate.
Well, if it wanted to, it could probably do it.
It's not a surface creature.
Well, depending on how much time, because remember, water, right?
It does, but it may not be able to make it that far.
No.
That's quite a few miles inland. And if it did, it wouldn't make it out.
And then it will be Loch Ness.
Mm-hmm. And it may have a disagreement with the Titan already there.
Yeah. But water trumps Earth.
Yeah, so we literally don't want to.
No, we don't want the Titans fighting against each other. We just don't want
No.
that either. But the other thing is, it means that you probably would be happy because I do like being in the sea.
Okay.
So I can find peace in the sea.
Well, if you're going to talk about peace to it, give me a persuasion roll with advantage.
Okay, that is a 25.
Okay, so between all of you, you seem to have gotten it calmed down. But it still feels rather alone and lost in the world because it really doesn't have a purpose anymore.
I'm gonna give it purpose, maybe to learn more.
Well, it's the only one of its type.
But that doesn't mean that they can't educate and learn about the world and the rest of it may be the only one of its type, but it has siblings. So maybe tell it about its siblings back at the Isle of Dread, and tell it about family, and maybe pass on a halfling's feelings about family, because a
Well,
halfling's
I put
very...
it with the family, but I think Zal will probably be a little bit more knowledgeable of the types of creatures that are in the Isle of Dread. Going from her...
Yodri's been there. Yodri explored it much more than Zal did. Zal was in stasis for more than half of it.
Yeah, but I thought she was also... he's aware of the water ones, isn't that?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Didn't actually get a good look at everything.
Okay. Well,
What was Pokeballed rather early.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it goes through that and saying that there's smaller versions of yourself.
And then there's the same size siblings as well.
So what does Yodri do to convince it of a purpose?
Yeah. Well,
If other people suggest it, Yodri still has to be the one to say it.
yeah. Well, okay. Let's try and work out. Be also protective of the Isle. But it means that it'll be active instead of being going to sleep.
It is its home.
Yeah.
We don't want them to go to sleep.
Oh, okay.
We just want them to go home.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, one of the reasons they're angry is that they were forced to go to sleep.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah, well, I'm basically going that you do have siblings, well, younger versions of yourself. They are a lot smaller.
Well, technically, it has siblings of the other type.
Yeah, you've also got siblings there as well. But they look different, but I'm just saying if you're looking for things that are similar to you, there are smaller versions of yourself there as well. And you wouldn't want the master to do bad things to your island, so you should go home and protect it.
Okay,
And be with your family, because your family needs you.
I will give you a persuasion roll. Not advantage or disadvantage on this one. Just a persuasion roll.
Okay, that's again another 25.
Okay, you've gotten enough successes to convince it that where it can go, and it does desire to go back home and protect itself. Its home
And family.
Are you using the F word?
Well, he does play
I'm joking.
Mandalorian as well, so
Yeah, and the thing is, I do come from a large family, even though I'm basically the runt of the...
That's what I
litter.
mean. You know, halflings do cherish family.
okay. So you believe you convinced it to go home.
Well, the only way we will find out if the tides return.
Well, it may return soon.
Yeah, unfortunately it won't happen instantly.
You don't want it to happen instantly.
No, we don't. We definitely do.
Because there's your destruction. There's your calamity.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
coming.
next up will be Tetsamok and Primal Death, as he as Druzzle spends another hour or so setting up for the next ritual. After people take a rest and recover, because that would have taken you about 4 or 5 hours to cover.
I was going to
So
say...
who's the guinea pigs for this one?
Calcrix will make Yodri a special alcoholic hot chocolate or coffee that he really wants, and give him some freshly made cookies to help refresh him from his...
So you're giving me Dutch courage.
Well, just because you just expend a lot of energy, and then I think Zal likes tea more, so she'll make Zal a tea. Just gonna go to
Yeah, it's just that this is the one that actually is watching me, if I remember correctly.
So would that be tea with sake? Hot sake instead of hot water? Okay, so the next person that you're set up to speak to is the last of the main elements, known as Primal Death or Tetsamok. And in the center of the circle, that puts Calcrix and Zal.
Oh, good.
With the others being around it to advise, but unable to interact. So does Zal have any words of wisdom for speaking to Primal Death?
This is the T-Rex one, isn't it?
Yeah. Don't get bitten in half.
Well, Primal Death is the dinosaur that looks like spines everywhere.
What a Spinosaurus.
Including a bit of a cross between the he basically looks like a cross between many of the Titans.
Okay.
Whereas Primal Calamity looks like 3 T-Rex heads on the same body.
Ooh, lovely. Are they going to go psycho after they find out who nuked their island?
Possibly. So, as a...
On the plus side, at least Yodri doesn't know about it. Because if Yodri knows about it, it means the Titan of Tides knows about it.
Well, the others have been informed that you have managed to get the Titans to start to return home, which is an important thing. As if they return home, life might return to normal.
Life finds a way.
So does Chauvel or Zal have any words of wisdom?
Probably not in terms of dealing with the thing of death.
Well, I'm sure you can come up with something useful.
I mean, slay it good, but you know.
You got this blood what?
Well, I'm sure that you can only kill it once.
That's if it leads.
Currently just looking to bring up a picture to give you an idea of what you're talking to.
That's cute.
Considering the one you just stalked to was that one. So that's the Primal Tide. Yep, large teeth. And it's the Primal Death still to be spoken to.
That's the T-Rex.
3-headed T-Rex.
3-headed T-Rex.
Yeah, the other head's behind the two.
Yeah, no, I saw that as you scroll back.
It's the two serious heads and the one that's cross-eyed.
Yeah.
And so, yes, that is who you are talking to this time. I'm sure that is not too terrifying to put your brain in connection with. So, as the ritual starts off, starting to go into evening, as you do find yourself connected to something that just relishes killing things. It likes to squish things. Or, you know, impale them with its spines, which you can flick. So, how is Zal going to start off with a creature that wants to murder, death, kill everything?
Please don't murder, death, kill. Use a hug. A spiny, stabby hug, but yes.
He doesn't really look like he's easy to hug, does he?
No.
No. Try his belly or inside of his legs.
Yeah, who wants a belly rub? Who wants a belly rub?
Yeah.
Belly
rub, yes.
I'm sure that would go over well with the Titan of Death.
Why? It becomes something completely different.
Something that was there to bring death to the world.
And gets a belly scratch.
Mm-hmm.
That would cause confusion.
Quite likely. Well, you can talk it over a little bit with Ariadne. I'm just going to quickly duck to the toilet myself.
I mean, what I don't think I know as much about the Primal Death as, say, Calcris would, but
Look, he's a happy chap. He's smiling.
yeah, look at those glorious teeth.
Yeah, but they're not as spiky as the other ones. And doesn't have 3 mouths.
Yeah.
Which picture are we looking at of death? Because the picture I saw, he looked pretty
He's smiling.
fierce.
He's
spiky.
Got the 2 horns, the really spiky tail.
Yeah. Oh, you're right about the smile. Do you like cinnamon scrolls?
No, not really.
Cool. Nuts, but no scroll for you. Scroll for mine.
So, we were suggesting probably a belly rub.
Belly rub might work. It's death though, so
We'll
us
also confuse the crap out of
playing fetch with it might be.
No. No, I can see a problem with playing fetch. Yes, you're playing fetch, then it wants to bring back whatever you threw. To you personally.
We'll play fetch with the master, right? Right.
No. No, I actually think that Death will probably have a major problem against the Master.
No, I know. That's why it was funny.
Since the Master is the master of necromancy and death.
It would be nice if that was what he was a master of. But he's kept that so much of a secret, even Legend Law doesn't work against him. So what was the consensus of how you're going to placate Primal Death?
Ariana said play fetch. And
No, I said playing fetch would not be
Your suggested belly rubs, but I'm not entirely convinced of that.
No, I'm just going through the picture. He looks quite happy. I reckon he could probably do with a chin scratch as well.
I was going to say, I think Yodri was suggesting a belly rub.
Actually, playing fetch is not a good idea because I think that's the one that's actually got the eye on me.
Mm-hmm. It is one that watches.
Are you peeping, Tom?
Well, he does have the letters of Tom in his name.
Mm.
So does Gary with Anton have any suggestions?
I'm sorry, I've got nothing on this one. I'm also very tired, I'm afraid, by the way.
I understand, I was just trying to include you.
Well, thanks.
I was going to say, if it's, should we take the same approach that we've taken with the other ones, perhaps?
What, like imagining the Isle of Dread? Where would it reside on the Isle of Dread? That's maybe a good starting point.
I think we might know where they come from. Is it possible that we could have done a research or a knowledge roll to remember what we've learned about primal death, like where it came from and that kind of thing?
Well, you believe that all of the Titans spent most of their slumber mostly beneath the waves.
Right.
But maybe we remember which part of the island came from, like Primal Tide, I think you said came from
The trench.
I forget where I hit us a book.
I can see death coming from either one of the trenches or one of the areas that are near the volcano, where it's basically just death. Everything in there is dead.
Could come from tar pits or things. I don't know if you're interested, but just in case you are. Same for Martin.
Don't know if, can't remember what the place is. I was trying to find better notes or detailed notes of Primal Death, but I didn't have anything beyond linking them to their elements. I think because my hands haven't been so good since 2021. But do we remember which element death is linked to?
Darkness and entropy.
Oh, entropy. Okay. And who's talking to death? Is it Yodri because...
It is Calcrix and
okay.
Zal.
Alright, so before
So we sort of started it while you walked out of the room.
Sorry, I had to go to the bathroom.
We understand.
I've had tummy cramps.
We were just trying to give you time to get yourself sorted.
Before I go into the circle, can I do a remembering research type? Basically, Calcrix would like to consult the journals and remind herself everything she can about where death came from on the Isle of Dread and what kind of connections she may have made about death, because I know oh no, this journal, that one. It's too many journals. I know that it sent spies halfway around the world and is the reason the second moon disappeared. But I think we did talk at one stage about roughly where it was on the Isle of Dread, and the parents of the Isle of Dread, the parents of death would have been Terra and
Nyx.
Nyx. Okay. So we would share like I would consider Nyx a bit like a parent, because she's taught me much like a parent.
And you expect that Primal death might have been what you were like if you had have just grown up without any real friendships.
Okay, alright.
So you've got left
Okay.
in the cage with the kobolds kept on stabbing at you and the goblin.
Alright, I'm ready to go then. I'm writing in the wrong book. I think the cat may have given up on me. Either sat in the window or on your chair.
Well, he is on my chair.
Yep, so it's given up on me, that's fine.
So you get the feeling of something that just enjoys killing things. Not because it's hungry, not because it needs to, just enjoys doing it.
Kind of the same reason Catholics enjoys coffee. Just cause. So she understands the I just enjoy it side of things. Calcrix, when she connects with death, she will pass on a sense of a playful fellow sibling. Who, she certainly enjoys the power of like her lightning breath and the ability to protect herself and her capacity to guard her family and see whether or not death responds to her in a positive way.
Okay, give me a persuasion roll.
I do not have my stats in front of me, but I do have my stat sheets with me. Persuasion, will that come under charisma?
Can come under charisma.
That is
charisma then.
charisma.
Because it is my best stat. Ooh. So that's 23.
Okay, it seems to pause and consider what you're saying.
So Carrick's will reach out further now that she's made a connection. She's going to use more emotions than words because complex language does not go very far with these creatures. So she's going to try and kind of share sort of images and so she will share her image of her memory of being enslaved and hurt by the goblins, and then how she felt alone and abused by them, and then her relief when she was freed by the party and started experiencing family and love. And she's going to try and connect that to the Titan siblings and how there's the potential for that if death were to return home and spend time with their family and siblings. So in that way of, I was also abused by someone, like they were by the master, but there's more to that in life, and that more to that is more enriching and fulfilling. You can still kill things and stuff and still enjoy that part of life, but you could do that from home and have this bonus of this family and the protection that family gives you and can give each other.
They will give you a performance check with advantage.
Performance check with advantage. That means I roll twice or spin twice. Oh, that's pretty good. So 18 plus 10 is 28. And then you do it a second time? Not as good. That would be a 19. Because 9 plus 10 is 19, right? Yeah. So 28. Cool. Is that good?
Okay, it seems to have highs and lows as you go through your tale of stuff. You had a feeling you wanted to just smash all humanoids for a while there, and then it goes, well, if they saved you, they can't be that bad sort of feeling.
Yeah. That's kind of, she's trying to simplify that, but that's what she's trying to communicate. She's going to throw in a little bit of extra jazz wings to spice up her performance, for lack of a better word.
Jazz winds does seem to amuse it.
And she will try to pass on a bit more of the bond that she's formed with Zal and Cheval and Yodri, and how the delight of making new friends like Anton and Feyre, and how if death goes home, they can have this too at the Isle of Dread.
Is Zal going to add anything to that?
Only if Calcrix, I think Calcrix needs it, but
I think if Martin's asking you, he wants input.
Okay. Yeah, like I can share the feelings of joy I had raising this little dragon hatchling, sort of watching her grow up into the dragon that she is now, sort of being the sort of parental figure of Calcrix almost, and sort of how proud I am of sort of her willingness to learn and adapt to new things.
And I will give you a wisdom saving throw for Zal.
Kind of not unexpected though.
Wisdom saving throw? 24.
Okay, so you feel it go through your memories about Chocobo.
Oh. No, wrong bird, but I mean, okay.
Wrong animal companion?
Apparently it approves of your method of training.
Yeah. I'm sure it does.
And it has a delight in seeing it learn to murder better.
If Calcrix senses the connection to Chocobo, she'll add her fun memories with Chocobo. Spending time with Chocobo.
If it wants to focus on Chocobo, I can focus on also Chocobo's growth Like, yes, he started in as a little hatchling, and his whole species is also about death, murder. But how he has refined his craft and well, yes, he does enjoy the murder. He has learnt some restraint as well over the years, mostly.
Galfrix would add her particularly fond memory of her discovery one morning of waking up in camp to discover that Chocobo had murdered all of the goblins that had been sneaking up on them. And she found this actually a very good thing, but also the simplified version of the concept of death has a place rather than killing everything. There has to be a cycle, otherwise there'll be nothing left to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Like yes, he is good at his job, but he has also used it to protect, like Alex's story just now.
So,
that is probably a better, more mature version of an interpretation of that memory.
They will give Calcrix advantage on a persuasion roll with inspiration.
What does with inspiration mean?
You get to use a D4 as well.
Okay.
And you could be Jeff Goldblum.
So
Death finds a way.
14 plus 10 is 24. Did you say with advantage?
With advantage.
Okay, so the first roll is 24. Plus the D4 is 2. So
You only roll the D4 once.
okay, so it's just 2 then on the D4. Rolling the D20 for the second time. Ooh. That's only 14 plus 2. So we might take the 26 if that's okay.
The 26 is okay. Okay, it seems to enjoy the tale of Chocobo, and that it seemed to have been taught about home.
That's unexpected but good.
Well, that was one of the focal points of some of Chocobo's early training.
That's true. The rune.
Mm-hmm. So it seems to understand the concept of home.
Well, that's good.
Well, we want it to go home.
And unlike the others, you managed to get 3 successes in a row.
Yay!
The new D20 is
We're getting better at this.
I was going to say the new D20, D10, D8, D12, D6, D4 is working well.
Well, it means she doesn't have to roll it now, she can just spin it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that the one that's got the little...
So you spin it.
Oh, okay.
And then
And
stop
then-
it with your finger.
It tells you which one is on the side.
Fair enough.
But I've got to remember to turn it over to the right side because one game I was spinning the D12 instead of the D20 side. So I was only giving myself D12s. I'm like, I'm rolling really low today. A bit like Mark in his 4 D20 sided D20.
Yes, he was a bit embarrassed by that one.
It's funny though.
Okay.
Considering that the advantage I got before, my favorite dice rolled a 5, and in the last 2 rolls it rolled 16 and 14, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, but you didn't roll a natural 20 on a disadvantage.
Yeah. I have had my 2 dice, my 2 Japanese symbols dice roll nat 20s on an advantage before, like both of them being nat 20.
Which then means you both, you all get to rest up overnight before you deal with the final Titan.
Hey.
When you look at it and you notice that the village is in the foreground, while the city is in the foreground, and the Titan is not.
The Titan is larger than the city?
Yes. It's leaning over the city.
Aren't most of them larger than cities?
They are. It's just when you put it into scale, it really does show.
Yeah, it just looks weird.
What's the Titan we haven't done yet?
Primal Calamity, the three-headed T-Rex
Yeah.
on the screen at the moment.
So the other one's coming out of its back.
Represents the element of immortality or godhood, basically. So it's the elemental that you deal with when dealing with the gods. Calcrix is possibly the person to deal with this one. Because Calamity is her great-grandmother.
Isn't it the one? Because that's the one that didn't have two parents. Is that right?
It's the one that wasn't connected to Terra at all. The only one of them not connected to Terra.
I believe
the only one that's not
Calamity's parent is. I did write it down somewhere. Unless Martin remembers.
I believe it was Io and Nix.
So Io, who is my, weirdly enough, my grandfather, and Nix, who's my patron, in the sense that we're not officially in a patron-follower relationship, but unofficially, it might as well be.
So more of the, what was it, great aunt or something like that?
So my great-grand... Just a second. My brain's trying to get around that family heritage.
Mm-hmm.
If Io is my grandfather, how is Calamity then my great-grandmother? Or father, depending on there.
Things are always confusing.
Yeah, no, that's hurt my brain a little bit.
If it's got the two timelines in that, Calamity could be Io's mother, which would be very confusing.
No, let's not go there because
timey-wimey stuff.
And in some cases it can be mother and grandmother.
Calcrix only has a certain capacity for figuring out the temporal things.
And Druzzle draws a different circle this time. It's got, instead of 4 points like a compass, it has 5.
5.
Yeah, because I think Calcrix is the only one that can go in the middle, and for this one, is that right?
That is correct. That was why Calcrix was very important for the storyline.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's not so sure about that.
Because no one else had a connection to Calamity.
In the morning, as Calcrix gets up, the others might notice that she's a bit more anxious.
Have some coffee.
She actually turns down the coffee. She's going to give the coffee a miss.
That was probably going to make Eep depressed too.
It's okay, Eep will happily drink any coffee that is left over.
Yeah.
He likes it black.
She's very nervous.
Or she likes it black. Hard to tell.
So yeah, you may notice that this one seems very different for her. I don't know if that'll change or cause you guys to do anything. But
Well, just also think of it as you're meeting a relative.
Ancestor.
I'm trying to think of something in the way of supportive, but I'm looking around on what I've got, and I don't really have in the way of supportive abilities. Something having like Mind Link or something like that where we can provide a direct support if that's given you're worried.
They can talk to her from the outside of the circle
I
safely,
do
but they
actually-
can't actually connect through the circle.
I do have a telepathic bond spell. So, yeah, technically, I could connect with everybody. So if Anton were to suggest that that's something that he'd be willing to do and suggested it to the group, Calcrix would do the spell. That would be reassuring for her. What do the others think? She won't feel quite like she's alone.
That's what I was thinking, like you're not facing it all by yourself.
It's a good suggestion.
She's not facing it all. We can still talk to her while she's in the middle of the circle, though. Like, we can still lend our support.
Yeah, I just trying to think of something more than words, that's all.
The idea of having that telepathic bond type things actually, if as I said, if you're suggesting that Calcrix will kind of brighten up at that and go, do you think that would be okay?
That's a bit like an Arcana question.
Well, she can do it, but she's asking the group whether or not they'd all be okay doing that.
From a balance perspective, it would unbalance the ritual.
It would unbalance it? Okay, so Drazzle says no.
Would a token like something of ours that we give to you like right now? Would that unbalance it?
Drazzle does say he is happy to sit in circle with Calcrix.
Okay, that makes her feel better.
Because he doesn't represent any of the others.
Yeah, she's just really nervous because this one's. Look at Calamity. That is very scary to a 12-year-old child dragon.
Zol rummages in his pack and walks over to Calcrix and Drazzle and has like one of his little bookmarks that he usually makes. If I give this to Calcrix to sort of like hold or have on her, would that unbalance the circle?
You don't think so? It's more that the people outside the circle are pretty much holding the attention of the Titan.
Okay, alright.
Yep.
So,
And if they're not doing that, then there's no Titan to talk to.
When Drazzle says that, Calcrix will gratefully accept the token and kind of clutch it because that dinosaur is damn scary. It's way bigger than she is, and yeah. So if Anton wanted to contribute in a similar manner, that would be pretty awesome.
I don't really have anything that's sort of like personalised like that.
Family.
I don't have family either.
I was gonna say, even a hug and a few words of encouragement would work.
Okay. Oh, that I can manage. You're big, but I can reach up and grab you around the neck.
Oh yeah, she's down to human sized when she's in Knight's Riveting, so that she doesn't make a big mess of the place. So she's very huggable right now.
Okay, very huggable. All right. If we can manage a hug.
Mm-hmm. And you do notice that between one night and the next, at the start of the session, that Calcrix went from the normal coloured scales to the multicoloured scales of the painted and etched markings.
Right, yeah.
Because
Is that from Tuesday session to Friday session? Right, okay. Yes. Calcrix will thank Anton and she does feel
And-
feels better.
Anton does see some depictions of Anton on the scales.
What is that? A reflection? Is that me? What?
I told stories about you to my elk skin clan fellows when I was on the Isle of Dread, helping progress one of Redrian's other missions, and the children really liked my stories about going on adventures with you, and I was telling them about the trial for the cult of the Black Earth. I got that right?
Mm-hmm.
And
That's right, yeah.
they really enjoyed that, so they felt that when they were drawing pictures of the stories that I told them, that they'd like to include some of all of my fellow party members, because I miss you guys quite a bit when I'm doing the other work for Redran, and so I told them stories about all of you. And
Okay.
I'll point out to a couple of scales on one side that have got like reddish tinges of them. That's Chevelle being the mistress of fire, and then I'll point to ones with like blue shadings on it. That's Yodri being a pirate. This one over here is Zal being killed by the creature under the water.
Here's Pokemon Zal and the dinosaur.
There's a scar.
Wait, are we doing show and tell of all of Zal's mistakes?
There's a scale here of.
I approve of this message.
No, well, one of them's actually
How
Calcrix's
about
mistake.
showing all of Chevelle's mistakes and hold up?
Yes.
There's one that's just a big orange and red explosion. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, there's all range of stories, both disastrous and good ones. But there's a particular larger scale on her chest that shows each of the party members together with Calcrix at a table sharing food.
Looking like the Last Supper, I'm sure.
And there's a no.
I couldn't help it.
It's side on of them, 3 members on each side, but there's a rune on that scale, and the rune translates to family.
So it sounds like you've already got a strong connection already. Stronger than anything else we could come up with.
She has a strong connection, particularly to the Friday group. Zal, Chevelle, and Yodri, who were present here, saved her life. They took her out of slavery, and they showed her what love and connection is. She wouldn't know that without them. And even the newer party members have been accepting of her. And she's not always accepted wherever she goes, particularly as she's a multicolored dragon now. So she really appreciates that you guys do that, and that you're supporting her now when she's really nervous about this new encounter with this very scary looking Titan.
Multicolours suits you.
She thinks it makes her look prettier. She doesn't understand what people's problem is with the multi-scales. But at the same time, she's very aware that if she adopts actual red and green scales, she may be in trouble.
Okay, so Trussell sets up the ritual again.
Calcrix gives him a quick hug before she enters the circle. And takes a deep breath and steps into the middle.
And as with the other ones, has Yodri holding the Heart of Water to represent water. Has Zal holding the Heart of Life.
The Heart of Life rather than air.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Is that because of terror?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep.
Which would technically make it a quite a few stars on the outside. And then there's the Cheval with the Heart of Fire. Then you have I believe we had Anton with the Heart of Earth. We had Fairy with the I believe Fairy had the Heart of Air.
Yeah. She had I wrote down who had which coloured apples at some point. I can't see it here.
I've got the green apple.
Which is the Earth one.
We're trying to remember because Fairy ended up with
But whether they ended up with what they needed at the time.
Fairy accepted Yodri's on Yodri's behalf and then had her own. How can I have that written down here? Because I did write down who had the apples.
Yes, but last session, they were given out to people to hold to represent those elements.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's different than who grabbed them originally.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Didn't mean to confuse things.
No, I was trying to say who had them, not who got them.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And now I can't remember who had what.
Yodri had water.
Mm-hmm.
Cheval had fire. Zal had life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing it at the same time. Anton had earth. And I think we're air. Fairy had air.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I have entropy.
But someone else will need to hold entropy.
Oh, okay.
I believe it will be a 6-pointed star on the outside.
Is Zal able to hold entropy? No. Fairy would be the one who's... No.
Most likely Eve.
Oh, Eve. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because if Fairy were to hold it, Fairy would no longer exist.
That is true. She's Fey Wild, not Fey Dark. Please forgive my mix-up.
All good.
Eat is probably delighted to be able to hold something. And reacts in the only way it can. Great joy.
And probably yells out, "Death to the infidels!"
My God!
I think the death to the infidels might get the bad.
Yeah, we've got to be careful with E. Calcrix is not quite sure E necessarily. She might fall into the same spiritual category as Primal Titan Death. Kill everything just for the sheer joy of it.
I'm going to have to duck out, everyone. I have really been struggling this evening, and I know we're building to the climax, but
you go rest.
Sorry, everyone.
Well,
okay.
we understood that when you couldn't come in person that you might not last a session.
Yeah. Okay.
Take care, Gary.
See you next time.
Yeah.
Bye. Okay, so yes, you find after the ritual goes on for a little while, you find yourself connecting to quite a different being than last time, as it seems to have 3 active minds.
Okay.
And each mind communicates with the others, and so it has a shared capacity.
Kind of like a hive mind in a way, but
Well,
independent.
technically it is a hive mind, but the hive mind shares the one body.
Yeah.
So they all share the one goal.
That they have independent thoughts.
They have the
Could
capacity
disagree with each
to think for themselves, but generally think in the same sort of purpose. But they can technically operate the body independently.
Okay, that could lead to some interesting body activities.
It can. So they seem to be focused on hunting.
Okay. That's scary, but...
And they are currently hunting a source of something that stole from them.
So, the master?
And they are in a great desert.
A great desert.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of recognisable to me as Yalarum?
It is not Yalarum.
It could be... Is it Sind?
Could be Sind. Sind is a huge desert.
Do I know enough about Sind from my research into it just before entering Yalarum that I might have an idea of what the landscape looks like from pictures in books and things?
There's not a lot of pictures of Sind, just that it is deserts as far as you can see.
So educated guess then. That it's likely
Something of the size that it is should be seeing the mountains to the north or south, or the east, because it's got mountains on 3 sides and oceans on the 4th.
Okay.
It's just seeing sand everywhere.
Okay. But I know that the master has been, or came out from, or started in Sind before moving towards Darrakan, so I could make a guess that's probably where
Well,
Calamity is.
you did hear the stories of the master conquering Sind in the phase 2 of the storyline.
Yeah, it was ages ago.
Mhm.
I think it was like in 2021 or 2.
And each of the 3 heads seems to have different senses.
Okay. So some will be good at sight, others will be good at like smell
And the ability to see beyond what's there.
Okay. So what kind of things do they see that's beyond what's there?
Well, they are seeing time.
Ah, okay.
They are seeing thought.
Okay.
They are seeing matter.
Mm-hmm.
And they're seeing energy as well as entropy.
Okay.
They're seeing the world as elements.
So yeah, they see the
They do not
just
perceive.
as you said, the world as elements.
They don't perceive it as you normally perceive things.
So time is water, thought is air, matter is earth, energy is fire,
Mm-hmm.
and then entropy. What was entropy?
Darkness.
Darkness. So when you say darkness, Calcrix is kind of interested in what that looks like through.
Well, from their things, they're not seeing them as elements. They're seeing
the waves of time,
Okay.
or the projections of thought, or the matter that makes up the world. Solidity versus something you can move through. Their perceptions are completely alien to your frame of reference.
Well, that's why Calcrix was particularly interested in entropy, because.
And from entropy's perspective, it is the ending of things.
So decay.
Less decay, more that everything must end.
Okay. Is that with like finality or?
There's no life cycle without entropy.
Yeah. So, she understands that from the Queen of Darkness. So even though she's never seen the world particularly from this perspective, she definitely understands entropy a lot better than she used to because of her experience with the Queen of Darkness.
And what they see in Sind is, in Sind, entropy seems to be the strongest force.
So the Master is very much aligned or favours entropy.
So they see that time has been stilled. Thought has been constrained. Matter has been broken.
So
And
I'm just up to thought as being constrained.
matter has been broken. And energy has been dispersed.
Thought has been constrained. I'm still writing thought has been constrained because my hands are horrible. Time has been still. Thought has been constrained. Matter had been broken. And then what was the
Energy had been dispersed.
dispersed?
Basically leaving entropy as the only element in power there.
Entropy is imbalanced and strongest.
Which means the region that the Master controls is dying.
Yeah. Does that mean that aligns with what we know about the Master being into the undead, necromancy, necromantic magic, that kind of
And they might just be his servants.
part? Yeah. So the undead and
Undead can create undead.
yeah. She's not going to think about the seeds right now because she has a feeling that might have some influence over things. Okay. Is our goal to also return Calamity home?
Well, Calamity will basically cause problems all over the world wherever Calamity is.
Yeah.
And if Calamity makes it to Darrakan, it will unbalance Darrakan completely.
So if Calamity continues to hunt down the Master, it will eventually follow the Master to Darrakan and cause problems for us there.
Well, think of Calamity as a catalyst.
Catalyst for what though? Not good things.
Well, change is generally what a catalyst does, and the change probably won't be for the best.
Well, not in this case, because the change that the Master is trying to enforce is getting into godhood through the destruction of and not just the destruction, the what's the word? Conquering of the known
the whole known world?
Well, the world itself.
The world
Once
itself.
he reaches Alfheim and touches a tree, he then has the power to do much more. I'm sure Yodri would love to get drunk and do a challenge like that.
A challenge like what?
Have a touch something to become a god.
I think all of us, to a degree, would like being as powerful as a god, but yeah, okay, cool. Can everybody in the circle see all this?
Well, they can sense it, yes.
Okay. And do they like does Cheval or Zal or Yodri have any questions about what they can see and perceive? No?
So he basically wants back what was stolen.
So that'll be what the master. I'm guessing the master siphoned off energy from them all, including Calamity. So Calamity is trying to hunt down, get the energy back, and return balance.
It has no concept of balance, it's just hunting that which hunted it.
Okay. That leads me to question, what the hell can we put on the table to bring it home? Happy for suggestions. Can I do an insight check?
You can do an insight.
What does insight come under, wisdom?
Insight can come under wisdom, yes.
No, I can't do it under charisma, and probably not under dexterity or constitution, which are my stronger things. So
And I believe it is wisdom, it is.
Wisdom's going to have to be it. Don't roll the d12, that won't be fun.
Do I think-
20! I got a natural 20, which makes it 24.
Okay, so you look at it going, it seems to literally be chasing down that whatever's unbalancing the world.
I guess what I was looking for insight in is how I might just start the conversation to persuade it to go home.
And you think if it does catch the master, it would then probably start chasing the other gods itself. Because the gods have unbalanced the world as well.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe if we convince Calamity that we are doing that job already, and it's more needed at home with its siblings to balance out its home, maybe that might work. What do you guys think?
Well, the other thing is the path that is chosen, it's going to completely unbalance everything.
But it doesn't understand that side of things.
Well, it understands balance, but just saying.
Right, it understands imbalance.
Imbalance.
Yeah.
So
So
it wants to balance everything out, doesn't it?
No.
It's just
it
chasing
just
imbalance.
wants to chase down the master and then the gods who are causing its distress. So if we convince it that we're going to do that job
Or
because
you
it's
can-
more needed at home.
Or also, if you point that out that it itself is causing imbalance, will that work?
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, it starts chasing its own
I
tail.
think that's a pretty complex concept.
And it may then start chasing those who accuse it of imbalance.
Yeah, it might not take that very well. That's my worry there.
It does seem more intelligent than the other one you spoke to.
Yeah, okay. Then
Imagine,
I spoke to...
I believe that three brains instead of one
Who did I speak
would definitely give it more intellect.
I spoke to Death, so...
You spoke to Death, and I believe you spoke to one of the others.
No, I think everyone else...
That's right, you didn't sit in the circle last
No,
session.
it was Zal who's dealt with them all. So Zal would be the one who might be able to inform me that in comparison to all the others that she's connected with, this one's a bit more intelligent and will get higher concepts, if that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, if I realize that he seems to have more intelligence and more understanding than his siblings. Is this the oldest primal?
This is the primal that was never really alive.
Right.
Okay. And just looking for input.
Just from its perceptions, it's never been alive.
Right.
That sounds kind of depressing, to be honest. Is it because it's incapable of being alive?
It's because it's never had a lifespan. It's always existed.
Okay.
From when it was created to now, it has not grown or changed.
Is that different to
the other five?
The other five?
The other five have grown.
Has Car been trying to teach it too and been unsuccessful?
Car has not been able to teach this one.
Yay! My job. Yeah, so just before I start, do you guys agree with the idea of kind of trying to persuade it that we're going to do the balancing of things and that it's needed at home more, and try and convince it to go home that way, although Calcrix does not want to go to her other party and back to the Isle of Dread once Calamity returns home, because this shit is scary. Yeah. Josh and Emmy and Ross?
Yeah.
You need to convince it that we can do it, not...
Well, I guess I'm asking if you think that's one of the best strategies to go in with to try. Or can you think of something better? Or to add, like in addition to... Because Calcrix looks up to all of you as more experienced and wiser parties, so if you have guidance to offer, she's open to that.
Chevelle is probably running along the same lines as well, it's trying to bring balance back to everything. It may cause imbalance. And that we were already on to the case of the Master and bringing back balance to this world.
Yeah, because it's something we've already been doing for, 2 or 3 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Although we have to be careful with that. Oh, we don't in a way we can point out we're the reason that they're free. Because all three of the parties have been working to stopping the Master, and Tuesday's group woke up the Titans. So technically this is Drachnima's fault, but also to Drachnima's credit, because he's the one who fought the Avatar
That was
of Ka and woke the Titans. So we can kind of point that out, and that should put us in good light.
Or it could be the complete opposite.
I think Cheval's got a good point. We've been working towards this for a long time, and if it wasn't for us, the Titans wouldn't be freed from the Master's thrall. So
the other thing
we get that credit.
Yeah, the other thing you could probably point out is currently the Isle of Dread is in balance as well.
Yeah, and it needs Calamity.
Restore the balance.
Yeah. And
Calamity
we all
is the
know
life of the island.
Well,
from
without Calamity, there is
no balance there. Yeah. And we all know from 2 sessions ago that Cheval's prepared to take credit for everything.
Sounds about right.
Okay. Cheval is the Master.
I'm working on some backstory and a letter outside a game, and Cheval features in the letter.
Not surprising.
Yeah, particularly that particular session comes up, not in an entirely bad way, more of the amusing side of things. And I presume Emmy's okay with that. She doesn't have anything to add.
Good with that.
Would you like to add anything to the discussion for Zal?
I don't know what I could add.
Just agreement is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good plan.
So Calcrix will reach out mentally to Calamity and introduce herself as the great-granddaughter, Calcrix. So she's the daughter of Bahamut and Tesis, granddaughter of Io, and your great-granddaughter.
A lot of greats.
Yeah. And see what kind of reception she gets from Calamity. Or any attention at all.
I will give you a persuasion roll with advantage.
Let's see what's set up.
As technically you also have Druzzle there, who is also the same.
So, sorry, it's persuasion, wasn't it?
Yes, persuasion. Plus 10.
So it's plus 10. So the first one's 26. You said with advantage?
Yes.
Is that right? No, that's a D12. No, we'll look at the D12, do we? Not right now. 14 plus 10 is
24.
24, so 26.
26 is better.
The 16 is a bit better. Alright, so 26.
Okay, so you do get recognition from them,
Okay.
as they do seem to recognize you.
I will say, Great Calamity. I'm here on behalf of a group of people who are also who have the same goals as you, and that is to restore balance to the world. But in order to do that, we need you to return home. I was part of the party responsible for waking all of the Titans and freeing them from the grasp of the being that wanted to misuse your power. And without you at home on the Isle of Dread, we cannot complete our task of returning balance to the world.
Okay, so while it is focusing on you, you feel it suddenly go through great pain and start to weaken.
This is not good. Can I tell why?
Well, you did get told not to travel into the Master's domain.
But the Queen of Darkness said that...
Well, for most of them not to travel into the Master's domain.
Sorry?
Well, you could make it in there. She said not to. You had been warned not to travel into the Master's domain.
So it means that Calamity has just wandered into the Master's domain.
Calamity has?
You believe Calamity has wandered into the Master's domain.
Right. Is there any way that I can protect or strengthen Calamity?
Calamity needs to get out of the Master's domain.
Okay, so I will communicate, if I can, to Calamity that they're in danger and they need to leave.
Okay, so I will give you a will saving throw.
I will, if I may add to that from a role-playing perspective, I will add my familial, not familiar, but as in family, concern, like the sincere worry I have for protecting family, because I see Calamity as a member of my family, and add that to the urgency. So it's not a command; it's a warning and a request. I'm trying to communicate a sincerity there.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if that helps.
We shall see.
So did you say it's a wisdom?
Wisdom saving throw.
So I haven't done one of these for a little while. That's the D20.
So the D20. There are
plus
bonuses.
The D4. No, it'll be. Is it a proficiency save of +8?
I believe that's it. Yes.
Okay. Well, I didn't give myself enough points for the earlier one then. Because I didn't do that properly. That's the D20 up the right way. Ooh, 19. 19 plus 8. I can't do that today.
19 plus 8 is
27.
27.
Yeah. Okay, so 27.
Okay, so you can feel your mind touching some other being.
Okay.
And it is a mind completely directed towards dominating others.
So if the player says, I know the F word's not accepted here, but can I tell it to get the F off and jump? Yeah, go, yeah. No. So as I'm Calcrix, she's gonna do her best not to be noticed by this being.
Well, you think you just got noticed.
Oh, crap.
Well, if he doesn't want to be dominated,
Calcrix is
if he
12.
keeps
so
on going where it's heading, it's going to be dominated.
As a 12-year-old, Calcrix doesn't know this phrase exactly, but the player's like, oh, emphatic on the K. That's not good.
You do feel Drizzle there with you.
Yep. Still not good. She's really glad that the Queen of Darkness has been protecting her from because I think he's able to sway all dragons except I think she's the only exception.
As far as you know, you're the only
Queen of
exception.
Darkness. Giving her that gift. So she's really grateful for that. Alright. She doesn't care. She's still going to try and get Calamity to come to safety. And she's going to be kind of focused on that.
Okay.
Because she's not going to let the Master thwart her goal. And her goal is to get the Titans back to the Isle of Dread. I think that's the right move here. Is that right, guys? I presume giving the Master a challenge right now is not the right move.
No, it's not going to be a challenge. It's going to be one-sided.
That's what I mean. I presume challenging the Master head-on is not the right move, so focusing on Calamity and getting Calamity to move out of the Master's.
And we'll make it an athletics roll.
An athletics roll? Okay.
Yes, you'll be doing exactly what the Master's trying to do, and dominating Calamity.
Oh, is that what he's doing? Okay. Alright, so...
You're playing tug of war.
We're not trying to dominate them though, are we? Or is that the only way?
Well, if someone doesn't help Calamity, Calamity gets dominated.
So I have proficiency in athletics, which is good.
Which is why most of you were told to stay away from the Master's territory.
Okay. So... Alright. Oh, that's not too bad. So... Can I please do math?
What did you roll?
Makes, 17 plus 8.
Is 25.
Thank you. I just couldn't do the odd number and the even number. So 17, 25.
Okay, so you can start to feel Calamity moving under your guidance.
Okay. I join hands with Drizzle and hopefully if it comes to a dance-off we win.
Quite possibly, yes.
Yeah, right.
And you hear Drizzle say, "Not the one," to the Master.
Not the one. So, do I understand what that means?
Not a clue.
Okay, not the one. I'm going to keep note of that word, though.
But of course, Drizzle did have his cookie today.
That's true. I actually gave me two, so. Just making a note, Drizzle to the Master, because I'm sure that might mean something someday. And it'll be the day I don't write something down that, alright, we'll just, I'll absolutely concentrate on guiding Calamity home. And I'll use my memories of the Isle of Dread and my memories of her siblings and I will try to do my best to infuse her with my sense of determination and purpose.
So you find Calamity start to pick up very quickly the further she gets from the Master.
And that's enheartening.
And a desire to return home and rest as Calamity has had a blow dealt to her.
On Tuesday I'll give her a cookie. Well, probably like a gigantic cookie, but
and you find yourself back in the circle very quickly afterwards.
Okay.
Because you think you did manage to save Calamity, and you thought it was close.
Oh yeah. And do the rest of the party know what happened?
They do know what happened, yes.
Okay, cool. Carcricks will literally collapse.
You hear all the gemstones break and shatter.
Yeah, she probably Carcricks won't really register that. She'll literally collapse.
The effort of stopping.
Will rush over to make sure that Calbrix is okay. Just it was a lot.
She'll have that coffee now. And if there's chocolate, maybe some of that too. This is more than a cookie problem.
Dres will hand you a coffee he had saved.
That's. She's very touched and she's very grateful that Zal's come over. She'll actually kind of curl up against Zal because she's quite shaken by the experience of connecting with the Master. Because she knows how dangerous that is for dragons, even with the protection from the Queen of Darkness. And that she herself could have been dominated and enslaved again. She really doesn't want that. And what she doesn't want more than that is the potential that she can be used to attack her friends. Which is exactly what the Master would have done if he'd been able to.
Or enslave all your friends.
Yeah. One or the other. Probably the other to begin with. But if that wasn't possible, then the first.
But you do believe you have managed to save all 6.
Wow.
Yay, nice.
That's really good. Unexpected to have found Calamity in Sind and still being siphoned by the Master. That is essentially what was happening, which means that he was probably getting quite a bit of power, because Calamity is one of the most powerful Titans.
It's probably why he's been able to advance so quickly if
Yeah.
he's still been siphoning power off.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Because did the life tree get exploded that he had? He had
He
a
had
tree.
a world tree that was
world tree,
cracked
that's
in
it.
half.
Yeah, so after his world tree was broken and he was disconnected from 5 of the Titans, he needed something, and Calamity's linked to immortality and his ambitions for godhood. I'd say that's not a coincidence. So that's a pretty big win for us.
And if you hadn't have won, you and Dresel may have been under his spell.
Yeah, the scarier thing is that Dresel can time travel, and has connections to the chief of clans in the Etrurgan.
And the founding of all the kingdoms.
Yep, and that as well as the temporal Lani. She's gotten pretty powerful. And then we all have connections to the elemental lords and those like the Ethengar Knights and the.
You could have pretty much ensured a victory for the Master.
Well, yeah, like you take Cheval's connection to the fire cult, Zal's to the air, Yodru's to the water, etc., etc., and all of those were like the SAS
the Alphasian forces before they left. So them alone would be like four armies.
They would have decimated the Darrican army from behind.
Oh yeah, easy. So it's a really good thing that they're on our side.
And a really good thing you made friends with Herman.
With
Herman,
yes. Well, yeah, Calcrix just thinks everyone should drink coffee.
Well, hey, it's amazing when small acts of kindness come back to save you.
Yeah, well, she learnt her acts of kindness from the 3 members here. Yodri, Cheval and Zal. Because of their original kindness in freeing her.
So I think we'll finish this session off a little earlier today with the thing that you have managed to at least bring the seasons back online.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because if it had have taken too much longer, you've actually lost just over 1.5 months of spring.
I was going to say, how far into spring is it?
1 month and 19 days.
Okay, yeah, so almost 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Not far off it. Is there going to be a chance for crops to grow with magic and things?
There would be, but there will also be a shorter growing season.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there something that, in particular, Calcrix is, not that she's spread too thin already, but or the rest of the group, if they want to, that we can do to help?
Doesn't help that the majority of the Darrican and the Master's forces are planted on the fields that grow most of the food for the region.
Yeah, okay.
Darrican is the breadbasket.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we need to...
Yes, we're going to have another have a famine.
And it's not going to be a short one.
Yeah.
A multi-year famine.
Sorry?
A multi-year famine.
Yeah, there's nothing that we can do to help with that, I presume.
Where you expect the Master will start burning the fields as he goes.
Right, so we just have to try and end the war.
Also, isn't that why we've been like,
Getting
building
allies.
farms and doing stuff on our own homesteads?
Mm-hmm. That is correct, while you've been doing stuff and trying to build up your own people.
Yeah. So it might be that Calcrix can send letters home to send any food that we can spare towards everyone else. So as a part of the official game and timeline, she'll give Drazzle a letter to stick in his portal, to instructing Grindel Waffle to ration out as much as they can spare and send the rest onwards.
If only someone had gone back in time, built an army, and prepared for something like this.
Did someone go back in time, build an army, and prepare for this?
Well, you'll find out soon.
Chauvel did. Yeah.
But who are we going to claim to make the army?
Cheval. She burns everything. Come on.
Wrong army. It's supposed to be for our army, not for the enemy.
Yeah, no, she burns all of them, not us. Just them.
No, it's still wrong army.
Really?
Who controls Cheval?
Oh, yeah, Ixion.
So you just created an
Sorry,
entire
Cheval.
army for...
You've just been demoted to backup army, and we're going to go for the half-wing murderous pirates who know how to cook.
Yeah,
like your characters know about this.
What? The fact
well,
that you're going to end up betraying us due to the fact that you worship a god that...
Calcrix actually does, because when we had the conversations that revealed the Brotherhood, the all of the 3 fighting peoples, wherever my picture is, here we go, the Fellowship of the Star,
the Ring of Fire, which is Ixion, and the Brotherhood of Shadow. Calcrix learned all of the gods. So you got Raphael and Irendel who want to protect Clantree. You've got Ixion and the god of peace who want to erase Glantry. And then you've got the Brotherhood of Shadow, which the Master serves, and they want to rule everyone. So Calcrix does know. She's written this shit down in her journal. She's watching you.
Are you sure?
I
Reach
thought
you throwing marshmallows over my head.
that's also the reason why we can't go into collateral,
I
because we
would
actually
like-
know what's going on.
I would like it to go on record that Calcrix hasn't roasted marshmallows on your head since that meeting. She's been very, very nice to you.
Eve still does.
No, Eve's not allowed to.
No,
Calcrix.
it's not marshmallows anymore, it's sausages.
No, Calcrix gives Eve her own little fire. Because she has a ring that allows her to breathe fire once a day, and she specifically uses that ring at the moment to toast marshmallows for Eve so that
Don't
Eve doesn't
think
harass
Holy
you.
Flame is good for Fae.
Sorry?
Holy Flame.
It's not Holy Flame.
Yes, it is.
Oh, Cheval's is, yes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm
But
just saying.
Calcrix's ring isn't.
Yeah, just
Well,
saying.
it doesn't seem to be particularly holy yet.
No, not yet.
Well, not if Eve can blow it out.
I was going to say, Cheval isn't
What,
necessarily...
What, he can blow out Cheval's fire?
Has done it more than once.
Yeah.
When was that happening?
You might have missed that session.
Yeah, I think you missed... One of the sessions was when...
That would have
Yeah,
been a great time to hit her with some water.
I don't know. Cheval might have. I wouldn't put past Cheval to.
It doesn't put me out, like, forever.
I know, but it'd just be humorous seeing you wet.
I was.
Instead of being, if I threw water on you at the moment, it'll just be steam.
I think letting
You regularly realise how much that water that you would have thrown on me does turn to steam and I reignite.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It would be interesting seeing you wet, but not steaming.
I was going to say I like Cheval steaming. Like all good books.
Steamy and dreamy?
Yeah, well, I consider as a dragon. Calcrix doesn't really understand those things.
No, you don't want steaming. You want smoking.
Well, Chevelle
She
is
likes
hot
smoking.
stuff.
She's very much a fan of smoking.
Well,
Smoked ham, smoked chicken.
did anyone want to add anything before I put it onto end credits?
Just just that letter. Cheval.
Mm-hmm.
What letter?
So the letter to Gritter Waffle about food.
Yeah.
And I will finish the letter I started just before game and get it to you before next Tuesday game,
Okay.
so that it can go on record for that.
You'll probably end up having to use the seed, which is going to be
I've got
annoying.
2 seeds.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's what you'll probably end up having
I
to do.
may end up having.
But that's a good thing to start off with,
And-
but a bad thing in the end.
Not just that, I know where a 3rd seed is out of the 5, and I can get to it if I decided I really wanted to.
Yes. As soon as we remember, we go silly and forget again.
Calcrix won't. She used up downtime on being able to remember. It cost me. It cost me quite a bit of downtime, but I gave it up because
All I know it's got to do with cats because
The Cheshire Cat smile.
it's a god.
no. But the thing is, I know it's got to do with cats because every time I've played around with something and lost memory, there happens to be cats nearby.
I was going to say, I actually know which god it is too. It took me...
Oh no, I think it's more of the cat people. The fact that I have the same issue when I'm trying to remember when I got into their ship, because I can't remember anything, and every time I try to remember it gives me headaches.
You know, it's taken me about 14 real-time months over sessions and games to finally get from I want to remember stuff about the seeds to finding out the god's name. It's taken me such a long time. So if that storyline goes nowhere, I'm going to be so there's going to be like a deadpan look at Martin of
this is Martin's long ploy of just like, this is the longest track shiny thing, furthest away from the main story that we could possibly go.
No, I had one that was 200 sessions from when it happened.
I don't know how many
sessions. There you go, Ariana. You still got another 83 sessions to go.
Yeah. As I said, I don't know how many sessions is involved over there, and that was about 6 or 8 months ago that I found out the god's name. So it's been quite a bit of time since then, but I don't think we've done downtime.
Not since then.
Oh, yeah, not since then.
So if you're happy, I will put it on end credits.
Yeah. But was Chevelle going to add something? Because you made a sound like...
I was gonna say no.
Okay.
How about
No, I think we did quite well today.
Failed Ranger, guys.
I was going to say, Zal doesn't pick the human-sized dragon up and heroically walk her up to bed and tuck her in and read her a story.
I mean, Zol's a bit stronger than he used to be, but I don't think he can lift a human-sized dragon.
I don't think I weigh that much as a human size.
Well, Drazzle can lift you easily.
Drazzle can? Okay, so Drazzle...
You probably haven't seen the meme saying how to tell a polymorphed dragon when they're showing a cat sitting in a bent...
yeah. So Drazzle carries Calcrix upstairs, and then Zal follows and reads her a bedtime story.
Yeah, that's something along that lines.
Coffee and donuts.
Oh yeah, definitely the donuts. Oh shit!
Oh yeah, we're totally having the like dragon equivalent of a girls' night in.
Yeah, girls.
Ice cream, chocolate, coffee.
I don't think I've had one of those, so yeah, Calcrix definitely like to at least role play that at some point. Ariadna wants one too. Alright, thank you, Martin.
All good.
And thank you guys for playing even though you're all tired.
So going on to end credits.